I just remember being super young. This is going to kind of come out of nowhere. I remember seeing a video where Vince from the ACACIA Strain was talking, and I don't know why, just one thing he said that stands out to me is like, dude, just stop calling it fucking deathcore. And I'm like, oh, is deathcore bad? Like, why should I stop calling it this? So, I mean, we call ourselves metalcore, deathcore, or whatever. I mean, I don't give a fuck nowadays. You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. It is what it's evolved into.
Well,
So,
nowadays it's different because
deathcore.
we have the hindsight, and like for us specifically, like we're older, we probably just don't give a shit. Like like it's we don't care about the labels, right? But it's just interesting because back then there was like. To your point, like there was like a stigma around it, right? There was, someone like Vince from ACACIA Strain had always been super vocal about like, no, don't get it twisted. We are not a deathcore band, and it's just, it's kind of funny to me. This is kind of like, and I'll make this quick, but we recently had some conversations online about like who was who invented deathcore and stuff like that, and a lot of people were pointing out.
Man.
A lot of people were pointing out the ACACIA Strain, and then people were complaining, why does the ACACIA Strain never get brought up? And and I'm like, dude, because I remember back then the exact same thing you're just talking about. They were so hell bent on not being associated whatsoever with deathcore that I can't like willingly be like, yeah, they invented deathcore. Like, they even if they had, it'd be like a disservice to them. Like they would want no part in it, right? So I don't know. Maybe they've changed their stance on it since, but it's just a funny conversation that always kind of creeps up.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. I remember those days.
It's my theory personally, especially with someone like Vincent and ACACIA Strain, who always had like a very hardcore image. Like someone from the outside could easily think that it's a hardcore band. That's it. I think deathcore, because it was seen as like Bring Me the Horizon and more of a emo scene look with skinny jeans, I'm pretty sure the last thing you want as like a hardcore dude fronting like a hardcore scene and like the shows are heavy is to be seen as this for them. And I'm speaking, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I mean, I was part of the emo whatever, like I'm still that, to be fair. So like I understand, but I'm just trying to picture. I feel like for some people that was bothering, like kind of we're not on this emo crap.
It wasn't even about the music at that point. Yeah.
I think I could be wrong, but I think that's kind of what, and a lot of bands, like We Came with Broken Feet, or like a lot of bands were kind of goofing around, not being super serious, kind of making jokes with the music, the Turcula and stuff like that. So I feel like deathcore was seen as a maybe less serious thing for those people, like, oh, they're kids, emo kids doing their thing. So a lot of people were just like, that's not what we are type. That's from an outside perspective. I think that's what happened. But again, I'm just speculating, right? I'm not talking for Vincent, but he always hated the term. I'm pretty sure even Imure recently were just like, we're not deathcore. So it's there's a few bands like that that are just like, don't call us like that. So
plus once you get something a label name anyway, like you start to create that type of segregation. I'm assuming that's just what they didn't want, because I know Vince's his musical interests are very diverse. So I know he likes everything from hardcore to metalcore to anything. So
yeah,
maybe that's just what they were trying to stay away from.
Probably. And whether he likes it or not, though, he was influential for the deathcore scene. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
Sorry, but like
still one of my favorite bands, dude.
I mean, when I found that, as someone who wanted almost only breakdowns in my music, when I found the ACACIA Strain, I was like, oh, that exists. Like that's, I mean, it was like breakdowns after breakdowns, two steps and stuff. So he even heavier. I mean, yeah, and he as a vocalist, I think, is still influencing tons of people within the deathcore scene. So maybe he doesn't want to be associated with it, but at the very least, on the bright side, he did influence tons of people with the band. So there's that.
Yeah, I saw them. I think it was either Father's Day this year or Father's Day last year. I saw them with Tribal Gaze, and they're still just as sick, just as heavy. They've pulled just as many people.
Yeah, they've Yeah, they've been kind of having a glow up recently. I don't know what it is. Not to say they had a slump, but I feel like there's like more hype for the Acacia strain right now than there ever has been. I feel like they're like on the up and up, and it's cool. It's cool to see because it's dude, for any band to be still around, period, after so long, and to still remain, you know, relevant the way they have. That's it's cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah, dude. I remember. I mean, I think 3750 was one of the albums we listened to all the time back then. Like, just fucking love that album, dude. And then every album that came after was just heavy.
Yeah.
Wormwood's probably my favorite album that they have. It's such a fucking heavy album.
Yeah, they hit like a sweet spot there where it's like even more down-tuned and even, you know, and even sludgier than before. And it was just like, all right. The production was kind of different on that one too. Like, I don't know, there was like a lot of, it was a cool record.